I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man, that you mentioned him, man. Because this came from the pen pal. And it's an interesting case, man. But I'm gonna let you check it out.
All right.
And you tell me what you think.
Sure. I'm gonna dissect this motherfucker all the way for sure.
It's tricky.
What's up with y'all, man? It's Top Media TV. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. So we gonna get right into it, man. Rest in peace, Esone. Some interesting things have been developing, ever since Esone was murdered. And we gonna get right into it, man. But before we do, we gonna really see the paperwork, which is online. A lot of people haven't read the paperwork. They just pretty much listening to other people read it. So, hopefully y'all gonna read with me. And this is pretty much what they accusing Esone of doing. It's in black and white, so you can be the judge for yourselves. I mean, he didn't really confirm anything, but, I guess the detectives who was interviewing him, pretty much are saying that Esone did tell them that Head, aka Benny Nero, which is his government name, he actually identified Head as the shooter. Now, this case involves a shooting against the Bebop Watts Bloods, on the east side of South Central. And it goes on to say a woman who had lived at the Peach Apartments complex in Los Angeles. The apartment complex was within territory claimed by the Bebop Bloods. Carl met Orange Muffet, aka Esone, a former member of the Rolling 40 Crips, a few weeks before the shootings. On the night of June 4, 2006, Muffet had an appointment to deliver some marijuana to Carl. Driving a green Ford Explorer, Muffet arrived at the Peach Apartments complex with a companion who Muffet identified as Head, a member of the Rolling 60 Crips. So this is a case where Esone actually had delivered some pounds of weed to a female who lived in the Blood Hood, and being that they were Rolling 60, some Bloods came in a car and asked them where they was from. They actually threw them off and said that they was actually from the Bloodstone Villains, which is a friendly blood gang with the Bebop Watts. Fast forward, the dude, Tiny P Head, allegedly jumps out the car, gets into an argument with one of the Bloods and kills him. Now we gonna fast forward to Esone's interview with the detectives and the statement that he gave. Muffet testified he had driven his wife's green Explorer to Carl's apartment complex that night because Carl wanted to buy some marijuana. His companion had been a man named Head who was in the Rolling 60s Crips. Muffet testified Nero was not this person he was calling Head. Muffet described Head as a dark-skinned, about 6 feet 3 inches tall with waves in his hair and no tattoos. Muffet denied there had been any sort of gang-related confrontation when he got out the Ford Explorer. There were some guys hanging out on the street by the apartment complex, but he didn't speak to him. Muffet denied having knocked on any of the apartment doors in the complex. He denied having ever gone across the street to the complex. Muffet testified that after Carl came down to the street to talk about the marijuana deal, he left and drove Head back to his neighborhood. Later, he got a call from Carl, which is the female, saying someone had been shot. Most of Muffet's trial testimony was contrary to statements he had given to police. He told the police he and Head had gone to the wrong building when they were looking for Carl, and that he had encountered some Blood gang members on the street. Muffet identified a photograph of Nero, aka Tiny P Head, as being the man he was calling Head. Now that was, allegedly what the detectives had put in the paperwork, of Esone. The Esone actually had confirmed with them that Tiny P Head was the shooter. Now fast forward to the murder. The first person who actually put up a video saying Esone was killed in a robbery was a YouTuber, by the name of Normandy Metaverse. I think a lot of people know him. He posts a lot of LA gang content, and he was the one that actually put it in his title. Esone died doing a robbery in Sacramento. And he even actually adds more details to the whole situation and actually writes in a comment, he was beaten to death, then shot in the head 2 times. They found bruises all over his body, suggesting he was beaten to death before they shot him. He died of a horrible death. So this dude actually put it out there, y'all, that Esone died in that manner. And of course, everybody knows the location where he was found. how, you know, there was blood all over the floor. Allegedly, he was thrown in a ditch. And then, you know, that's where they found him. Allegedly, there was also some blood on the pavement. But he even goes even further, y'all, and actually writes, they said he was with another person. And guess this, the person is from Hoover. So it gets more interesting, y'all, because even this dude who actually put up the video, a lot of people are saying he's from a rival gang to Esone, indicating that this dude who put the video himself might be affiliated with Hoover, and he might have some inside information for him to say that Esone was with another person who was from Hoover, you know. And of course, earlier y'all seeing him describing the manner in which Esone passed away, which is crazy because y'all know the police themselves did not explain how Esone passed away, whether he was shot, ran over, stabbed, beaten to death, burned. You know, nobody knew. You know, people just assumed when they had seen the blood on the ground that he was shot. But this dude actually even went further, y'all, as if he had some inside information, saying that Esone not only was with a Hoover, but he was shot in the head and they found bruises all over his body, indicating that he was tortured before he was murdered. Probably.
Paperwork. I sent it to him. He wanted me to interview him on my stage about his paperwork. I told him he shouldn't do that. Right? I'm like, no, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. Like, that shit go everywhere, my nigga. It's your paperwork. Like, nigga, you did some wrong shit. And I told him, I said, I'm talking to your homies. They been knowing about this shit a long time. You waking it back up, making it look like they ain't gonna do nothing about it. It might lead to an issue. And shit, that might have been about 2 weeks ago. Shit, like they say, he was in Sacramento or something, but the area he was in was like a real ass area, bro. Like, a nigga had to know you was there. You wouldn't have met up with a nigga. Like, it was like fields and shit.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's called Rio Linda. Some little country ass town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? That nigga wanted me to interview him on the snitch paperwork. I declined it. Rockstar, you know what that shit would have did?
Yeah, he came out with some paperwork saying that he didn't tell, though. I don't know if you seen that.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. But
I got all the work. I'll send it to you right now. I got all the work. I mean, he told him some nigga named Pinhead or some shit from 6-0, nigga doing life. Some nigga. That's the nigga sent the paperwork to the street, though. The nigga who doing the L.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he got, but that shit right there, shorty, he told on a nigga from 6-0, nigga named Pinhead or some shit, and he doing life right now.
Now, a second dead body was found in Rio Linda within 3 days. The county sheriff is also, you know, describing the murder as suspicious as they did with Esone, you know, and this is the second murder, y'all, in the same area, only half a mile apart within 3 days. Could it be that, you know, the person who was with Esone, the Hoover, allegedly, could it be his body? Who knows? But the fact that the same YouTube blogger who had actually, you know, put out the title that Esone, you know, died doing a robbery is the same dude who had actually said that Esone was with a Hoover. So, you know, in my honest opinion, a lot of people have been saying that, you know, he was backdoored, and that's what I believe. As y'all know, he was on Adam 22's show talking about he was going to Vegas, he was gambling, having a good time, showing up on podcasts, you know, collecting money, gambling. So it seems like he was out there making some money, y'all, and it could be, and it just could be that the person that he took with him might have seen him having all this money, collecting all this money, and might have took him out. Now, if that's not the case, it could be that he went to Sac to do a robbery and that it ended up bad for him because, you know, this dude is describing Esone's death as very gruesome, how he was shot in the head twice. They found bruises all over his body, suggesting he was beaten to death. You know, it seems like this dude might actually know what he's talking about to some degree, being that, you know, first he said it was a Hoover that was with Esone, and now he's actually going into details, describing the, you know, physical injuries that Esone had sustained, because y'all know there is no information online whatsoever as to how Esone died and any of that. So this is the first pretty much indication we have as to how Esone passed away. So and they say this dude is actually from a rival gang to Esone. I mean, who knows? This dude could be a Hoover. You know, of course, y'all know his content, you know, Normandy Metaverse, he's all over the YouTube. And so let me know what y'all think, man. But
Rest in peace, S-Bone. But I thought people was trolling. I swear to God.
Okay, so you want to know what he told me on the interview on Monday?
So he was here 2 days.
He was here Monday. And I was actually really thinking, like, oh, this guy would be a good host. Like, I was thinking he
where'd he get killed at?
So he tells me in the interview, he said, I'm going to Vegas. I don't really hit the strip too much. I don't party too much. I just gamble, and I got to make some money out there. So when he says he got to make some money out there, I'm not asking too many questions on camera. I'm assuming he got a little whatever going on. I'm assuming that whatever led to his demise, and we'll probably find out.
Now, Wack 100 earlier had said he tried to protect Esone, saying he didn't want to put out the paperwork on his platform on Clubhouse because it's gonna wake up a lot of people, and it's gonna want to make somebody do something to Esone. So Wack is trying to say he was looking out for Esone, you know, because somebody from his neighborhood might actually kill him.
You know, Cowboy,
you know,
now
kind
responds
of, you know,
to 600, you know, goes in on him
spotlight
situation, you know, where he was going
knew
in
about
on
this for
Esone,
many years,
paperwork
but not just
allegedly
from his neighborhood,
on
actually from the
Esone,
rolling 60s. Y'all gotta remember the Tiny P head dude. You know, he's actually from the rolling 60s, so of course the rolling 60s themselves, y'all know, you know, would want revenge if, you know, they feel like it. And y'all know, of course, 600, you know, was going back and forth with Esone, and just coincidentally, you know, they both was in Vegas the same time, y'all. Isn't that a coincidence? I mean, at 600, you know, I did a live the next day breaking the silence on the death of Esone from Vegas. So you know, let me know what y'all think, man, in the whole comment section about, you know, the whole situation, man. Top Media TV, peace, y'all.